The holiday season is here and there's nothing more impressive on the dinner table than prime rib. But it can also be a little bit intimidating to cook. Today, have no fear, I'm going to show you a foolproof restaurant quality method to deliver the perfect prime rib for your holiday season. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. All right guys, in today's day and age, there's a million recipes for things like this all over the internet. Some are great and some are kind of a joke. When you're spending $200 to $300 on a big prime rib like this that's 9 to 10 pounds, you want a foolproof, no fail recipe. You don't want to BS, you don't want to waste your money. Today I'm going to show you just that. We're going to go ahead and trim this prime rib. This is about 9.8 pounds, so let's call it 10 pounds for the sake of simple math. I dropped out of college. So we'll call it a 10-pound prime rib. We're going to go ahead and trim off some of this fat. Now again, we spent almost $300 on this, so we're not going to let that fat go to waste. Stay tuned to see what I do with that. We're turning it into tallow and do a little bonus recipe for you. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and get this prepped. So what I like to do first and foremost is go ahead and cut down these rib bones here. We have a three bone rib roast here. We're going to cut remove the bones. That way we can season all the way through, and it's going to make it easier later when it comes time to carve this bad boy. So that's what we're going to do first. Heavily salt this. You want to do 1 teaspoon of salt per pound, so 9 to 10 teaspoons of salt for this big roast. And then you want to dry brine it. So salt it, put it in the refrigerator for 24 to 48 hours if you have the time. Now that may seem like a lot of salt, but guys, this is a 9 to 10 pound piece of beef right here. So you really want to adequately salt it, and it's important to do the dry brine step if you have the time. What's going to happen is that salt is going to pull moisture out of the protein. It's going to pool at the top and then reabsorb it, bringing that salt all the way through the whole piece of meat here. That's going to get flavor all the way through. If you just season the exterior of it, you're going to have a good flavor on the crust, but the actual inside is not going to taste like much. So very important to dry brine. Next, we're going to go ahead and use this butcher's twine that you can find pretty much everywhere. If you have a local butcher shop or grocery store, most places sell it. If you can't find it there, you can find it somewhere like Home Depot or Lowe's. We're going to go ahead and match it up with the bones and then tie it real tight. So we'll do that for each bone. If you have, however many bones you got. We got 3 today, so we're going to do 3 pieces. I like to start with the middle just to kind of secure everything. Tie it real tight. And then cut off the excess. This is going to help it cook evenly, hold it together nicely. I got way more butcher twine than I need, but better to be safe than sorry. Cut off the excess, and then just repeat that step for the other bones. All right guys, so after a 24-hour dry brine, it's time to go ahead and season this bad boy and get it in the oven. I got my oven set to 275 degrees. You want to bring this out about 45 minutes before you cook it, so it has some time to come up to room temperature. Not necessarily fully room temperature, but you don't want it to be ice cold when it goes into the oven. So we're gonna go ahead and season this with my AP seasoning and a little bit of barbecue seasoning. The barbecue seasoning is mostly there to add a little color and smokiness. AP seasoning, barbecue seasoning, we get it in a roasting pan with no liquid at the bottom. You don't have to worry about it scorching because beef fat has a high smoke point of 400 degrees and our temperature is 275. So we're not gonna burn up anything. We don't want this to steam. So if you add liquid to your pan, you're basically gonna steam your roast. We want this to roast, not steam. So dry is the name of the game for the roasting pan. All right, people, don't forget you can find this recipe and every recipe on this channel at my website, mrmakeithappen.com. Go ahead and visit that for all of your recipe needs. Also, guys, stay tuned because we're gonna pop this in the oven at 275 for about 3 hours. We're also gonna do some beef tallow, crispy potatoes as a side dish, perfect for the holidays and a perfect use of that beef fat that we don't wanna throw away because we spent 300 bucks. Into the oven it goes. Today's episode is sponsored by Merrifield. Eating healthy can get pretty expensive. That's why I started using this app called Merrifield. And honestly, it's kind of a cheat code for saving money on the healthy brands you're already gonna buy. And here's how it works. Merrifield is 100% free and it rewards you every time you shop for better for you products. Just scan your receipt or connect your online accounts like Instacart or Whole Foods, and the app automatically gives you points for eligible purchases. And this is my favorite part. The rewards are actually super useful. You can redeem your points for gift cards to places like Starbucks, Amazon, Target, Sephora, basically everywhere you already shop. It even gives you points for all produce and all eggs, which is a game changer if you're buying fresh ingredients all the time like me. Brands you probably already buy are on here too: Applegate, Amy's, Bragg. The list is super long. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and download that app today. Again, it's 100% free. I use it all the time, and I absolutely love it. I think you will too. That's Merrifield. Download the app today. All right, guys, next up, we're gonna go ahead and make a quick garlic butter and herb sauce that's gonna go on top of our prime rib after it rests. It's almost done. It's looking absolutely beautiful. One of the keys that you wanna do is make sure you rest it for 20 to 30 minutes before you cut into it. That's gonna allow the juices to redistribute, and it also gives you time to do something like this, which is make a sauce. You can make a horseradish sauce. You could do really whatever you want, but what goes better with steak than garlic butter and rosemary, thyme, all that good stuff. So 2 tablespoons of garlic going into the butter. We're also going to add in this buttery garlic pepper seasoning. If you don't have that, you know, use whatever you like, or you can grab this from my website. A little smoked paprika as well. A couple teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. Beef broth if you have it. If not, a little chicken broth or chicken bouillon just to give this a little bit more volume. A little bouillon for MSG as well, because why the hell not? It's the holidays. A little all-purpose seasoning to cover all the bases. We're gonna give this a mix, whisk everything together. Then I'm gonna add my cold butter to this off the heat and allow that butter to kind of emulsify into the sauce a bit. Gonna add a splash of water, which is basically like adding chicken broth because we got the bouillon in there. Give that a little bit of heat just to work that water in. Then I'm going to kill the heat, add the cold butter, and let this come together nicely. I'm going to go ahead and add in our herbs at this point. We got rosemary, thyme, and a little parsley. Worst word in the world sauce, also known as Worcestershire, however it's said. And then I'm gonna kill the heat and allow the residual heat to melt this last stick of butter. All right, people, here we have our beef tallow up to 350, 360 degrees. In goes our smashed potatoes that we boiled until they're tender. Smash them by hand, and now we'll fry them in that beef tallow. Hit them with a little Parmesan to finish. Can't go wrong with that. Perfect side dish to pair with this beautiful prime rib that's resting right now. These are already cooked. You're just looking to crisp them up. A few minutes is all they need. Put them on a wire rack to drain. Hit them with a little rosemary salt, regular salt if that's all you got. Hit them with a little garlic Parmesan sauce. Really, you can do whatever you want to these. These are a blank canvas. Just salt and pepper would be great too. The beef tallow is gonna add a lot of flavor. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and hit this with a little fresh kosher salt, fresh out of that beef tallow. Make sure they're salted adequately. We're going in with some rosemary, thyme, and some parsley. Then I'm also gonna hit it with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Give it a little toss. This is going to be on the side. This will also pair nicely with the sauce that we made for the prime rib, so they can kind of coexist, multi-purpose. Get a big chunk of Parmesan out of there. Right on to the plate. There you have crispy smashed potatoes fried in beef tallow. All right, guys, after a good 20-30 minute rest period, we're gonna go ahead and now remove the bones, which is much easier with the technique I showed you guys earlier today. What I like to do with these is wrap them in foil and then get them back in the oven. That way they can continue to, you basically have beef ribs right here. So I would cook these the way I would if I was making barbecue. We're not gonna do that today, but for Christmas or whatever, that's what I typically do, is get them back in the oven, get them nice and tender, and then serve them up as like a legitimate beef rib. Because there's a lot of good meat on those bones right there. We'll set that to the side for right now. And then give us a second to give this beauty a slice. Great crust, which is what you want. That's my favorite part of a prime rib. I hate a prime rib that's just no crust at all. Right right down the middle. There you have it. And this is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do is digging for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, people, this came out absolutely phenomenal. Great color on the sauce, great flavor, good char all the way around on this. Straight out of the oven. You could do this on the grill if you want to, but the oven is the easiest method and it produces amazing results, as you can see right here. We roasted it, so it's getting great flavor. I'm gonna stop running my mouth and get a bite. Oh my God. That's the best prime rib I've ever had, I think. That's so good. Let's see what the potato's hitting on. Beef salad on a potato, right into that garlic butter. You ain't gotta give me shit for Christmas, just give me this. I'll be good.